pigs. 6 o'clock in the morning, Chicago time. We're getting little thunderstorms on the way here, so thought I'd take a look at the good old hurricane. Today's Tuesday, right? Yeah, today's Tuesday. Okay, so let's go to the beginning of this radar loop. I'm in radar, correct? Hang on. See here, 66 here. We got a big storm coming. Okay. So depending where that big purple blob goes, we're gonna have some nasty weather here as well. Now, go back. My screen is acting up. Son of a gun. Anything to do with this hurricane and your equipment just locks down. My point of this, the way it just started, is half of the storm is still missing on the radar, even from when I did it last night. Giving me local data. I did not ask for that. I'm trying to open up the map. You can hear the thunder by me right now. Hang on. Just waiting to catch some lightning. I can't make the map get smaller. Hang on. I'm squeezing the screen and I cannot control this map whatsoever. And this is what's been happening, and I've now noticed other channels are having the same issue. Internet's not working, cell phones going down. They can't live stream. They've been trying to live stream, then the live stream. It's happening to all of us. Over stupid topics or not. I don't know if it has to do with that, or are they just having problems with the internet. Here's the rain's up in the wind here. Okay, now let's take a look at this hurricane. So they call it. First of all, I don't want this thing rolling. Nope. I want live time. Hang on. I can't get any of the buttons to work. This is really freaking me out, because last night my OBS turned on all by itself. Now the screen was left open, but I hit the stop recording. It rendered because I was recording to the hard drive of backup, and I was on the internet after the show, or my stream, whatever you want to call it. Hang on, I'm pulling up the radar, and I'm gonna try and scoot it since it won't let me zoom in and out. Look, all the radar is blocked still. See that gray area on the bottom right, except for the circle where that radar is working. The storm again is still covered. The radar is being blocked on windy.com. It was blocked on NASA last night. I'm sure it still is now. This is as of an hour ago, 4:55 a.m. I'm hitting play just to play it through. I think it's a 1 hour loop. And half the storm is missing. So let me bring up the current time. You can see lightning. The storm is near that yellow spot in the middle, right here. I showed you the impulse or pulse or whatever you want to call that happened coming out of the Dominican Republic / Cuba. We shown you on this channel. There's antennas down there that are controlling, especially when they zap the South or South America, when they were hitting Venezuela. That was the same area we saw activity back in April. It would light up and it would shut down all the radar around it. And we're noticing that also now down here by the Dominican Republic. As of right here. See how the beams are getting zapped out? So this is in the last few minutes. Over there at the tip, the Santiago de Cuba, there's something right in the center of Cuba there. You'll see a big blast of energy come out of there when they do this too. Either the weather's being manipulated by other countries from there, which I wouldn't doubt. It's a constant battle, and I'm sure we're sending, and you could see last night all the Doppler or the next rads were all lit up nationwide, even though there was no storms in the Midwest or the West Coast. And the waves of energy that we're seeing are coming from harp-like antennas. They're all over the place now. China has one that's twice the size of New York City. The antenna array. That's probably the one pushing it towards Florida. We got the ones down by here that are aiming the storm up the other way. So more than likely, all the shit we don't know, they're battling back and forth with their little weather games here. And that's why it's so hard at this point. Even the weathermen are like, wow, it's stalled. It's just now, a warning right now, it's stalled. It's not moving. Yeah, that's not possible. There's wind currents, there's jet streams, there's water flow current. There's so many natural factors involved that keep these storms moving. For a storm to park is virtually impossible without assistance. I'm not saying it's not impossible, because they've been doing it since last year alone with the 2 hurricanes over Carolinas. And that's where this one allegedly was going to be parked. Now, a lot of people are showing this, so maybe they're going to change their game plan. I think when enough eyes get on some of these little tricks, and then people see how the magic trick is done, then, 1, you're not scared anymore, and 2, they got to call off their bullshit. Yeah, that storm's pretty far away from Florida now. It was supposed to be going up the outer edge of Florida the whole time. Never touched. And they're still blocking radar. That's just a cold fact. Now, let's turn on the satellite. The satellite, they will show now a huge storm, which I believe they are filling in, because you have no access here. Thunder by me. Off of NASA's site, you had no access to this satellite last night. This is the one being fed after it goes through all its filters and all their non-disclosure agreements, shit, and all that bullshit. Everybody knows weathermen have to sign a non-disclosure agreement because of this shit. So they can't tell you even if they wanted to. But Truth by Grace, I think is her channel. She did a great video last night. And she's done these hurricanes for the last year or two, where she tracks the buoys, she tracks the wind on local airports. She does a lot where she gets down in the trenches of these computers and digs up raw data that these guys can't manipulate all at the same time yet. I'm sure AI is working on that. So all they do right now is, for the handful of people like me and her and a few other channels, Thor and I'm not gonna say Mr. MBB, because he's the one that says all this is beautiful and stuff. This technology, it's not beautiful. When they're turning the skies pink and all that shit, there's a way they're doing that. He knows how they're doing it, but it's his channel. You can do whatever you want. Call it beautiful, sell your calendars, whatever. I don't blame you for selling anything. I'm just saying, you get these people turning their pictures and all that. You didn't tell them you were going to be selling and making merch out of it. I think that's kind of rude. But I'm an asshole. I got an asshole. Opinions are like assholes. See what I'm saying? That's a Chicago thing. But opinions are like assholes. We all got one. You know what I mean? Now, this is not opinion. This is fact. Your radar is still being blocked. There's still these mystery ships out in the East Coast. Right out here. Blacked out. They're blurred. Hang on, see if we can find them. They were there last night. For some reason, they're keeping this radar on this airport, out in the middle of nowhere, in this little island. Let's find the mystery ship. I showed them last night. They're up here. I can't guarantee these are ships. All I can guarantee you is there's electrical activity, and they blur them out. We saw this in Central America right here. Now, it'll also make that pattern if you have it on play and you play through a lightning area and it's just replaying. Somehow it burns the screen and leaves it that way. This is not that situation. Number 2, they're blocking the radar, so you can't tell one way or the other if there was a storm there or not. So since they're blocking it, I'm going to swing to the little side of maybe they're covering the data for some reason. Let's just say that. Not saying it's, normal, not normal. It just is what it is. We can't see the radar. You can see the radar way out from shore and Hamilton there. You see what I'm saying? But the hurricane itself, you can't see unless you watch it through specific apps, which are reading a script. So they just turned this shit off. That's all. Extreme warning. Let's see what this says. Hang on. Let's see what the weather says here about this. What are they saying it's going to go? Nearly stationary. So that's less than 1 mile per hour, I guess. Dorian to move dangerously close to Florida coast late Tuesday into Wednesday. Update at 11 p.m. Eastern. The eye of Hurricane Dorian was located near 26, whatever. Sustained winds are near 130 miles an hour. By the way, we looked, couldn't find 220 anywhere on any of the data. No buoys, no nothing. I don't know where they're getting those numbers, but I guess we have to go by what they say. But the data near it and being blocked, little freakadeaky, I don't know. But it's their game. They can do whatever they want. The estimated, hopefully they're doing it to actually stop the damage instead of make it worse. That's all I'm hoping. But, you know, evil's evil, so who knows what their intentions are. Maximum sustained winds near 130, okay. Update, 8 p.m. Eastern. I had hurricane, was whatever. So, whatever, they're just blowing smoke up your ass. So, that's the path they're calling for as of late. The eye of dangerous high-end category 4, around 10 p.m. UTC. Now, I did the video, I think it was around midnight UTC last night. So, I was doing a video around the time this picture here was taken. Let me just tell you, the storm is moving so slow that if you were walking in this probably 75 square miles here of the center of the storm, you could walk and stay dry from there till you get into the ocean. If it was on land, until it stopped. You could literally walk slowly and stay in dry land if you walk in the center of this and just follow it the direction it's heading. I thought that was pretty remarkable that a hurricane is traveling less than 1 mile per hour. It's basically stopped. And if that's a new natural phenomenon, pretty wild. This is Wags, I'm out.